Okay, Mike here. Good friend of mine had me put this kit together for a friend of his. Actually, he came to me and was like, apparently she wasn't expecting a full-blown gunpla, just thought it was a simple snap-together thing, so like, hey Mike, work your magic with this. And I was all too happy to oblige. But I figured while I was at it, I'd give you a review of this thing because, quite honestly, I was really impressed by the quality of this kit. So, to be honest, I'm not too big into Sergeant Frog, so I don't know too much about this. I just know that it's a frog-themed kind of Gundam, kind of not type deal. But let's take a look, because, like, as I said, this is a surprisingly impressive kit. First, we'll start with the shoulder articulation here. First of all, this can move in and out. So you basically have full movement in the shoulder, a lot more than what you get from even some master grades. Elbows, pretty solid. The hands are the one part I'll talk smack about. As you can see, it's kind of hollow in there, but, you know, kind of who cares about that. Legs, again, full articulation throughout. Knees are double jointed. The movement in the foot is really surprising, because you can actually do all this stuff with it and can rotate full 360 degrees. There's a lot, of course, full 360 degree movement in the hip, as you can guess from this. A lot of good detail on this too, especially if we turn to the back here and see a lot of that. And on top here, this of course is removable. This little guy, which I'll get to in a minute, can ride this, and this little thing pops out here, has this little pop-out stabilizer fin. I was debating on painting these, because as I'll go over in a little bit, I actually painted some parts of this, but this is one of the cases where the stickers actually worked better. Same with here, I actually liked the sticker detail better, so I just went with that. But, if I can get that back on there, cool. So gonna start with, moving on from articulation, some of the things that I don't like about this. If you are not prepared to do some painting, I mean, now if you're fine with the way the kit looks bare, that's fine, but to be honest, well, this right here, I had to mask and paint all of this. Same with these fins, so that was a pain in the butt. I don't know how we can see that yellow there. Had to paint that, had to paint that. Had to paint, well, I didn't have to paint this, but it looked better than the sticker, so I did. The blue on the shield there painted, and it's worth noting, it's worth noting that of the things I painted, this was the only one that came with a sticker option. Everything else, it was either paint or nothing. Moving to the back, again, these little doohickeys here. Oh yeah, and these bits had to paint these yellow bits here on what I'm presuming are the intakes. Now I did of course paint the thruster bells. That's not a necessity, but I like to plop some yellow in there. Just kind of a thing I do. Now, I'll get back to this, something this guy can do in a little bit, but moving on to Keroro here. Comes with this nice stand. Now it's cool because this stand can be used for him, his little command unit, or this when it's in its flight mode, which I'll go over. But this is actually really impressive here, what they did. The articulation in this, you can go from standing to full sitting because of the way the joint is set up there, kind of like an L joint. Full shoulder articulation, full elbow, and the cool thing, and of course, you know, the head moves. The cool thing is, this was actually placed in the sprue with the joints already assembled. So I have some ideas about how they did that at the factory, probably because I think these were shot together and then they sort of pressed the sprues together, or they were set up to be done, have that done with them. But yeah, just pretty impressive, the trouble they went to for this little guy. So put that, and of course he stands on a peg in there. Here. Now, as you can probably guess from this guy is fully transformable. It's a pretty simple transformation, but I'll go over that right now. Oh, another thing, I was going to paint this, because this is actually, these details are fully recessed in here. I'll get my hand out of the way so you can see some of that. But, I just went with a sticker because, one, I'm not dealing with that, and two, again, here the sticker actually looks pretty good. And of course I had to, you know, gotta paint the lens there on the gun. But anyway, show you the transformation. And it is just that simple. Nothing too fancy, but I mean, works good, and of course, you know, he can ride in there with that. But I had a lot of fun putting this kit together. Even, you know, some of the, you know, masking on this stuff, it's kind of fun to do that every once in a while. I wish I didn't have to do it, but whatever. Also, I'm fairly certain these are just, like little thruster bells, but I'm wondering if this would also be compatible with a Gundam action base, which it probably would. So, yeah, definitely a cool kit to look into if you're a Sergeant Frog fan, or just want a unique and apparently very durable little kit. So, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.